Kanye leaks are pouring in, let's go over all of them. And just like leaks for any artist, take all of this with a grain of salt, even though it is from a pretty reliable source and leaker in the Kanye community. At the end of the day, it is just leaks. And this is a big info dump with a ton of new information about Ye's new album allegedly releasing, so make sure to watch all the way through so you get all of the new information about this new era of Kanye. So just a little recap of the past few weeks. In case you didn't know, Kanye's Twitter is back. He plans to tweet soon, but hasn't yet. He came out with Travis Scott during his Circus Maximus Utopia performance in Italy, and news of a new album is leaking rapidly. So the name of this alleged album was called Change, and I say was because this was just at some point in time. It's said to be changed, and there's no saying that this has definitely not been changed or been changed for a while. Man, this is gonna get confusing with the name changed. But honestly, I think it would be a cool comeback album name if it does eventually at some point switch back to Change, especially with the type of controversy we are currently in with Kanye. Is it still current though? It feels like that was so long ago. Like, can you believe that was last year? Anyways, that was the name at some point. There's no other information on the name of the album besides that at this time. And before we get to the rest of the leaks, subscribe if you're new. There's a lot of you guys who watch but are not subscribed, so like and subscribe, it would help me out a lot. Thanks. Another part of this leak is that a large amount of tracks are finished, which are on the same level as My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but this is less concrete than the Change leak, just obviously because that's all subjective because it's art and music. So yeah, and obviously the leaker is gonna try and get everyone hyped up, but honestly I wouldn't doubt this, especially from Kanye and the way we know that he makes his comebacks, and he's gonna need an amazing album for this one because it's gonna be hard to come back from this. And speaking about the songs on the album, a lot of them are said to be taken from older eras of Kanye, and no songs from 2022 are on the album. And this actually goes correctly with another leak that we heard about no Donda 2 songs being on the album, which is really disappointing because there's so many fire tracks on that album. Security, Happy, Pablo, We Did It Kid, I could go on. And what makes even more sense in regards to this is that these old Donda 2 songs are being given away because Selfish with X is going to be on Ski Mask's new album. So I guess we can call it a close for all of the Donda 2 songs and that era of music ever officially releasing, and not just on the $200 stem player that no one's gonna buy. One of the most exciting parts of this leak dump, at least for me, is that this album is said to be a combination of The College Dropout, T-Lop, and a little bit of TurboGrafx 16, which could possibly be the best combination of all time, except for leaving out Dark Twisted Fantasy, especially TurboGrafx. That is just some of my favorite unreleased Ye. That sound is amazing. And just when things start to get good, Kanye's other side starts to come out. I mean, it was inevitable, especially with older bars like this. I mean, we all saw it coming, right? It is said that Kanye talks about Jewish people in a controversial way on the album, but not in an anti-Semitic way, which is a little hard to decipher on what the fuck that means. But let's just hope it's not anything bad and it's just something similar to that St. Pablo bar. But even though we thought this news is bad, it is still looking up because there apparently are insane features on this album, and the actual Kanye verses are super high energy, and it would be nice to see Kanye actually try and not drop unfinished projects like Donda 2 or even Donda. So hopefully this album will be raw but still polished, if you guys know what I mean. A good example of like very polished is Utopia. I need like a balance of that and like a raw Kanye feeling. Pause. And now that we are talking about Kanye trying as well, it is also said that there are very heartfelt songs on the album similar to Runaway, which makes sense because of everything with Kim and now Bianca. And this leak does sound a bit like it's catered to the community a bit, but you never know with Kanye, it could be completely true. And for the features, I don't even know what could be considered insane at this point for Kanye. I really do think that most people in the industry would still work with Ye, but my personal features that I want to see Cardi are Travis, Cardi, Casey, and I know a lot of people aren't going to like this, but I want him to make up with Kid Cudi. They drop fire, you can't deny it. And I think Cardi is one of the bigger possibilities because it was leaked that there was a studio session with a few different rappers and Opium, which we already know how fire Cardi is with Kanye, but it would be awesome to see him bring out the full potential of Ken and Lone. We know he can bring out the full potential of other artists. It would be insane to see him do it for all of Opium. And there was a cover leaked for this album as well, but it was confirmed to not be the cover anymore, so we don't have to worry about a bad cover again. Listen, I love Donda, and I personally thought it was a great album, and I know the cover went with like the whole God and Catholic aesthetic about how God has no image, but it seriously gets so tiring looking at that damn black screen and artist profile. And going back to the track list, there are multiple versions, some consisting of older songs and new songs, and some entirely just new tracks. So there is a possibility there that we could get some grails with this album. Alright, enough about the album itself. Let's talk about the rollout and release area a bit now, because there was stuff leaked about this as well. And with how great the Donda rollout was, I'm sure this one is going to be absolutely crazy too. And Kanye currently has a plan for the rollout, so the rollout is being said to be starting in 2 weeks. It's currently August 15th at the time of upload, and if you see this in September and we have nothing, we lost. All jokes aside, that seems very early for an October release, which it is, and that is the leaked start date, but other information regarding the rollout is that there will no longer be any live listening parties, which sucks because the Donda ones are so iconic, and honestly, could you really top that? But even though there are no longer listening parties, there still are allegedly going to be live showcases, so maybe that's just like some cool performative art type live stream going on there for the new album. I'm not really sure what that means. It probably is exactly what I just said. And besides this, the possible release area is, like I said, it's October from this clip that people are just so delusional. I mean, do you guys really hear him saying October here? Okay, I came back while I was editing, and I'm not gonna lie, I hear it a little bit, but you guys are still crazy. It doesn't change the fact that we're all crazy. Like, literally, like, it's just like a little mumble. Like, we can't get too excited. There is nothing else really to go over. That's all the information on the new album that we have right now. I appreciate you guys making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe to stay up to date with everything hip hop. And also, before this video ends, I just want to thank you guys for 3,000 subs. I was going to thank you guys for 2,000 subs, but we hit 3,000 in a day. So thank you guys so much for all of the support on this video and just the channel and in general. Thanks for watching, and on that note,